Hi, everyone. Today, we're going to try and solve for getting a count of how many times something shows up in a spreadsheet. Some people like to do this just by highlighting individual cells, and you do get a count, but you don't get a count of repetitive content. Other people like to use data and then they go to column stats. And if you do that, that could work. Like, let's say you want to see how many times an ID number showed up. But really, it's better to get way more than just the top five. The same is true for classes over here. I'm only getting the top five classes and how many times they show up. I'm not getting every count of everything. So, in order to solve for this, my recommendation is to use a pivot table. There are many uses for a pivot table, but getting a count of something is the most straightforward thing you can do. So first, you want to highlight your data, and I recommend just pressing this top left corner right here. You could also use your keyboard, Control A on a PC or Command A on a Mac. So by highlighting everything, your pivot table will surely uh, reference everything you highlighted. So I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to press Pivot Table, and you're going to create a new sheet, and it populates right here. All right, so now that we've got our data ready to go, we're going to stay right here in the add buttons right here. It'll just be easier. And so the very first thing we want to get a count of is gender. So I'm going to go to add, and I'm going to click on gender. So what you can see is that in my rows, I now have two different categories of gender. And then I'm going to go to columns, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm sorry, not columns. I'm going to go to values, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press gender. So here we have now the exact value of this particular row, 24F and 26M. Okay, so if I want to do that one more time, I would copy from the top left corner up here, has to be this box, and then I'd paste it right below. Okay, now I'm going to try and get a count of fluency. So I'm going to delete the gender, and I'm going to add fluency to both. There you go. So now you have a count of how many times each fluency shows up. I'm going to just keep doing this for practice sake. All right, and I'm going to delete fluency. And this time I'm going to add grade level. So what grade level the students are in, and I'm going to go to values. I'm going to click on grade level. Okay, so you'll notice that this one is a little bit different from the ones before it. We have here count A, and this automatically did sum. So it just assumed, because we have variables that are all numbers, that we wanted a sum, but that is not true. Very easy to fix. You just go to summarize by, and you click on count A. Count A will count everything. Count A only counts numbers. Count A will count text. So you want to make sure to always pick count A. All right, and then we're almost done. We're going to get a count of the courses. Do that one more time. So I'll just delete. And course title, and course title. And there you have it. And very last one, we're going to do a count of the grades in the class, or in this situation, we're calling them marks because it sounds too much like grade level. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to get the mark. The mark is just another way of saying what grade the student got in the class. They call it mark because they don't want it to sound the same. So let's delete this, and we're going to go add and say mark, and same thing here for values, mark. And there you have it. You have a total of each mark in the class. All right. Well, that's it. Come back next time and we'll keep solving it one line at a time.